Wow. Well, I hope that I am live now. I have been trying to do this. I was supposed to come on at 8 and now it's 8:33 and I am so sorry about that. So, I'm all off schedule now. I'm all kind of fragile. Um But nevertheless, let's get this going. My purpose tonight for coming on was I wanted to introduce myself to you as a author, the author of my new book, Between Afternoon and Evening of Blinking Time. And I wanted to talk to you about and just let you get to know me. Nothing formal or anything like that, which is good because for some reason YouTube would not let me allow me to do my screaming streaming that I had scheduled. So nevertheless, we go on. Who am I? My name is Alice Walker Beecham, and I write under the name of A.W. Beecham. What do I write? I have a book of poetry. I have two self development books and my novel. This will be my first novel. I did do a draft copy of this novel 10 years ago to just get a feel of the novel and what people thought of it because like most writers I wasn't as sure uh, confident that's my so much within myself, so I did a draft copy to see how that would work out, and I got really good reviews, but I put it back in the closet, and now it is 10 years later, and I finally finished it. What made me finally finish it was I had a conversation with my son, and I am a mindset coach, and I have worked with people helping them to get in the right mindset, to reframe their mindset, to live the kind of life that they want to live since 207. But a friend of mine told me some years ago, my problem was that I can't see my ears. So no matter how many people were telling me the book was good, I still could not see it. So I put it back in the closet for 10 more years. So now it's 10 years later from the time that I did the draft. And I have completed it and I'm very proud of it. It's a wonderful book. It's a wonderful book. And I know people are really going to enjoy reading it. They're going to um, identify with it. Women are. I write for the heart and the spirit of women. And this, without tooting my horn too much, I think I really nailed it when I did this. But 25 years I should have nailed it, right? But let me tell you about now between afternoon and evening. It is a real, not a real life, but it's a romance story that comes very close to real life. It comes close to the things that we do in life, the things that we see as women, the feelings we have, and it's just very have a real life feeling without being real life. So I had a test when I was doing this, and my test was I didn't want it to be boring, and I didn't want any page of it to be where you would say, I'm going to put it down. So my test was that if I opened the book on any page, if that page wasn't exciting, didn't keep my interest, then I needed to rework that page. And I'm very proud to say that any page you would ask me to open this book on, and I could read a paragraph, half a page from at the page you requested, would not be boring. So, like I said, I'm very proud of this book. So, with that said, I think what I was wanting to do tonight, and I don't know if since my scheduled streaming didn't work, I hope people are not there and then not being in it's just technology is booger, but we can't live with it sometime, and sometime we can't live without it. But with that said, I'm going to introduce you to the main characters in the book. The first and main character is Eddie Louise McDowell. Eddie is the wife, is a wife and mother. So let me tell you, I'm going to read an introduction to you about Eddie. And she's simply, and throughout the book, she's referred to as Eddie, not Eddie Louise. Later on in the book, you'll find out how she got that name. So, but right now, I will introduce you to Eddie. Eddie Louise fell in love with Bill when she was 13 years old. He nicknamed her String Bean. She loved him at 14 when he called her a kid. At 15, when he referred to her as his buddy's cousin. At 16, when he winked at her from the basketball court. And at 17, when he took her to her junior prom and his lips slightly touched hers for the first time. On that night, she knew he would always occupy a space in her heart. She was 23 and he was 27 when they became husband and wife. 10 months later, she gave birth to twin girls on his birthday. They had always been lovers and friends, but lately, an unfamiliar spirit had entered their relationship, and they were now adversaries. Most of the 20 years of their marriage had been good, but the last 2 years had been the storm in their lives that would determine their future. She was intelligent and beautiful, one of those women blessed with eternal youth. At 43 years old, she was more beautiful than she was at 30. Her chocolate brown eyes and faultless caramel skin drew you into her world like a comforting fire on a cold evening. Her shy smile gave you the impression of an innocent girl hiding the desires of a woman. She quickly proclaimed that her greatest accomplishment was her two daughters and being married and being Bill's wife. Yet, despite her proclamation to love only Bill, someone else was gradually taking over her life. And that is our main character, Eddie Louise. Her husband, Ulysses William McDowell, known to all his friends as Bill, was tall and handsome with a body that would make the most conservative woman take a second look. He was the type of man that women dream of waking up beside at least once, and he had always known and used that fact to his advantage. Despite his actions, Bill had always loved Eddie and his daughters, Courtney and Elizabeth. He was 47 years old and he had it all: a faithful wife, two beautiful daughters, a lovely home, and a mid six-figure income from his own cybersecurity firm. Yet, there seemed to be something missing. Why was he so restless, so willing to take chances and risk everything he loved to find that missing part? Bill had always flirted with other women, and when he was with the guys, he would even admit to a few one night stands. But his heart was always at home. One morning, he lay in bed beside Eddie as she slept, and nothing he possessed was enough. His life was slipping away too fast. He felt cheated. The only woman he had ever loved was the one he desired the least. He found himself searching for something, but he wasn't sure what. Something he felt he had lost. For the first time in his life, he found himself desiring another woman for more than one night. No one will get hurt, he convinced himself. And I always tell women I'm married. Besides, women who have affairs with married men are out for a good time just like the man. It's not like they don't know the real deal. By the time he realized that a good time was not what the other woman in his life was looking for, his whole world had turned upside down. So that is the first two characters in the story. And I'm going to stop there tonight because I'm really not sure if YouTube is working with me, um, if this is going to work. And I really don't want to be reading just to myself. So I'm hoping that this works. I'm going to end this stream here and then I'm going to try again tomorrow because I really want you to get to know me so that you will, when you start reading between afternoon and evening, a blinking time, you'll be like, oh, and we're connect. So I'm going to stop here, and I really hope that you were able to hear those, meet those two characters, and I will see you tomorrow and start working on figuring out what YouTube is doing. So thank you for listening. Hopefully you will look at this and we'll go from there. Bye.